Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am your host, Rashida McFerrin, and today we are going to be talking about manifesting with angel numbers. And one of the things that I kept noticing throughout the day was the number 222. And so after I saw it maybe a fourth or fifth time, I was like, yo, what does this mean? And you know me, go to Google, angel number meanings. What is going on with the 222? I'm trying to figure out how it relates. When you are on a manifestation journey, sometimes you need subtle details or not necessarily even need. It's encouraging to see subtle details to let you know that you are on the right track and the right journey. And so when I looked it up, it was like the number 222 is all about balance, alignment, harmony, and power and positive action. And I am very much in a place of action as we are preparing for our next launch at the end of September. And so it's always encouraging to know that you're on the right path. I mean, I know that I'm on the right path, but it's always encouraging to get more confirmation from the universe or source, God, whatever you call it, that you're on the right path in the journey you are creating and on. And so I want to talk today about how we can use angel numbers to relate to um, our manifestation journey. For us, it's our manifesting millions journey. And so I put together 4 quick steps that you can take to focus on when you're seeing angel numbers and what they mean. So the first step is focus on your alignment. Are you aligned with your vision, your purpose, and what you are creating in your life at this moment? And for me, absolutely. As we're preparing for our next launch, I am constantly focusing on the message that I am delivering both in my social media platforms, in my blog, in my podcast. I'm making sure they're all in sync and in harmony with one another. So by the time that we get to the final stage event, which is the webinar, that everything is flowing together and working together so it can produce the best tangible results possible. Again, I am in a season of action. This whole next year for me, the way I've mapped it out is literally about taking action every day in regards to building my business. And it's not that I hadn't taken action over the last year. It hasn't been a year yet. Technically, we launched like mid-December, but a lot of things, it takes a lot of planning. Once I joined the mastermind that I was in last fall, I realized I was missing a lot of stuff. And so I had the product and it was ready to go and ready to sell. That wasn't the issue. It was more so the go between you have your product. So how do you run your team? What about your systems, your SOPs, your policies, your procedures? And a lot of that stuff I was missing. I joined DCA with Amy Porterfield in the fall, which led me into being in momentum, which was way more beneficial. For me, my DCA experience was kind of limited because I had joined her boot camp. I think it was called Course Confident the year before. And she put so much in that boot camp. And me as a beginner coming in and creating a course, I knew nothing about course creation. It took me 6 months to digest all of the information that I had in that boot camp after the boot camp was over. And I used that to pretty much build my course. And so by the time I get to DCA last fall, I was more so looking for marketing strategies and how to get my message out there. And while DCA covers some of it, she didn't cover as much as I would have liked her to cover in regards to the marketing aspect, which ends up leading me to a second mastermind, which is the mastermind that I'm in now, which is with James Wetmore. And both of them together have given me an amazing experience and given me amazing tools to use in my business just differently. They're both specialists in their area of creation. James's workable framework is giving you different styles of launching, which leads into marketing for your business, which has been easier for me to digest opposed to the one way that Amy was teaching in DCA. Anyway, so um being in an actionable phase of my business, I have to make sure that I'm aligned in regards to every step that I take in regards to hiring people, hiring contractors, hiring vendors. And so focusing on being in alignment is really important because that pretty much for me is like your foundation. One of the other things that I've noticed, like going through someone's funnel, I went through this young lady's funnel, I want to say in the fall of last year, maybe it was the year before. And it's funny because she's made multiple millions of dollars. And when I tell you, I'm not going to say her name, but when I tell you, going through her funnel and experiencing her live on some of those events that she was putting on was so unorganized that it just turned me off altogether. And I'm a person like, if I'm going to pay $2,000 for your course and then possibly hire you as a life coach and pay you $7,000 to $15,000 to coach me through getting me to the next level, then your systems and processes need to be in place from the moment I enter your funnel. I don't want to see stuff that could easily be fixed with a quick click of a button. And then you getting on live events and you got 1,000 people on this event and you sitting up there messing up. And I'm not saying that people don't mess up on live events. No, people mess up all the time. But there is a difference between having a small hiccup and then your whole event you're putting on being absolutely chaotic. Yeah, that's a no for me. And so needless to say, I ended up not in that young lady's cohort because I ended up choosing Amy. And so Amy came with Jenna. It was like a bonus. They did like a course together, like a mini course together within her course was really cool because I ended up using a lot of Jenna's quick tips because she likes to explain stuff, get in and get out. And I can get results like that easy. When I have to go on this long, drawn out path that's like a 10-mile marathon, I get lost. And so with Jenna's content and the way she does the stuff is totally different from how Amy does it. But either way, having both of them in her course was essential to me laying a foundation in my business. So focus on what is aligned for you or ask yourself, how am I aligning for this phase of my business and what is it that I want to produce? So after you get aligned, after you've done all the things, step 2 is trust the process. With me seeing 222 yesterday over and over and over and over again, I'm like, by the 4th time, I was like, okay, there has to be something in regards to me needing to relax and let go. And it's always that for me because I like to keep my hands on stuff. I've learned over this last year to let go. Hence me working with other partners and contractors and paying people to do their job. Like that's been a whole thing for me because I've always been a do-it-yourselfer or what is it, DIY? So because manifestation isn't always instant, sometimes it takes time. It's about building and layering and allowing the universe to deliver and bring the opportunities to you in the way it sees fit. And so being able to trust the process is a lot of that is letting go. After you've done the work and you know you've covered point A to Z, like you've left no stone unturned, the only thing you can do is step back and trust the process. And so for me, I'm getting ready to hire the email marketer for my funnels. And I had a couple of people apply for the job application. And we're doing it on a project basis, and then we're going to continue to do work based on how the launch plays out in regards to final numbers. And I had to go do research. And then the other thing I'm struggling with is like, this is funny. I'm trying to figure out like how do you pay people in other countries? I use the go-between, but then the back of my mind is asking the question of how is this treated for tax purposes? You got to learn to trust the process. And so I've done everything on my end I needed to do. The only thing probably else I need to do is go in and work. The presentation is done. I need to go in and work on presenting and closing, which is essentially it comes back to the fact that people buy you and not what you're selling. And so, and this is true, I guarantee you, it's true for real estate, it's true for you selling an item, at a retail store like Macy's or something, like if you're an associate, people buy you and the experience of your brilliance and how you make them feel in that moment. And so that's where I'm pretty much focusing my energy right now. I'm about to pass off my email marketing portal to the guy I'm hiring, and I'm going to let him run that. My job at that point is to just show up and be present as a founder and CEO. That will be my job. And so that's the letting go phase and the trust the process phase I'm in as of right now. And you have to remember, even with little small steps on your journey, it can create a massive, big return in regards to your results on the back end. And that's pretty much being in this course business and launching. That's pretty much how it is, because when you launch, you see an influx in regards to cash coming in the door for your revenue, and then it slows down a bit because you have to get into the course. And so what I've been trying to figure out is how many times we will launch after we do the first launch. And my goal is to do the first launch, get the cohort through, and then take feedback, update based on feedback, and then launch again and just keep doing it. That's the main thing in regards to trusting the process. So after trusting the process, step 3 is embracing collaboration and community. The beautiful thing about having this podcast is sharing information that I've not been able to share otherwise previously. And being able to do that has created opportunities for me to do collaborations with people. Even though I have this podcast as a single host podcast, there are people emailing me on a daily basis asking me to be guests on my podcast. And I'm like, yeah, hold up. I'm not quite ready for that yet. Like, opportunities are starting to come in to the door, and it's opportunities for both parties involved. And so I am having to figure out how to approach it, considering that I wanted this to be only like a single host, a single format platform. I had not planned to speak to anybody, the podcast, but the podcast has been doing really well. I'm excited about the numbers. We just keep growing and growing every day and every week. And so I keep putting more content into it. It's been enjoyable for me to record the podcast. It's something that I enjoy doing and didn't even know that I would enjoy being a podcast host, of all things. And so I am learning to embrace collaboration. The goal in having it is to build community around people who want to learn how to build financial freedom for their life. It takes time. It's a mindset shift. It's a commitment. But if you do it and really commit to it, imagine what the results will be in 2 to 5 years if you stick to it. That's been the thing that I've been repeating most to the people that I've been working with. So that was step 3. And then number 4 is basically repeating step 1, is take action consistently. Like I said, I am all about the action this year into next year. Like I pulled my chart, and my whole year, I'm in a 9-year. Thank God I'm closing out this 8-year and opening a 9-year. And 9 years are all about action, higher education, and travel. And I'm planning on doing a little more traveling next year. I'm looking forward to it. What action or activity am I doing that's going to lead me to the result that I desire? Income producing activities in regards to my content, in regards to my social media, in regards to my website, in regards to my business, in regards to my podcast, and how it's translating over into my course, which translates over into revenue, profits. So every day, all day, we are emphasizing taking action. Manifesting millions is not just you sitting up in a yoga pose in the lotus position expecting money to flow into your hands. It's about taking small actionable steps to get to the desired goal. And let's add, it's about creating a plan and then taking small actionable steps to get to the goal, to get to the bag, to get to the end result. And I'm not talking about action taking activities that are not making you any money, honey. Yeah, no. I am talking about action taking activities that are leading you to a result which The result ends in being the bag meaning your bank account. What are you selling? Where are you speaking that they're paying you for? How are you making more money in your business? What additional products are you offering? For me, are you selling houses? How are you selling houses? Where are you selling houses? What type of houses are you selling? Everybody knows, if you've been on my social, I focus on specific first time buyers who are looking to buy homes anywhere from 3,000 square foot and above. I don't sell a house under $400,000, period. Maybe 375 has been the least that I've gone, or maybe 350. I think I'll say, and this, mind you, this was when I was first launching 4 years ago. Now it's like you can barely find a $300,000 house, literally. They're few and far in between. And it's so funny. This is a small tangent. It's so funny that buying a 1,800 square foot home in Dallas, Texas now is a 300 grand house. And I'm talking about these are gentrified areas in the hood. I get it. I know it's a new property, but even buying a house in the hood now costs you $300K. So anyway, what are you doing to get more business, to close more sales, to close more deals, to get more eyes on your socials? Those are the small, actionable, everyday steps we're going to be taking. If you're seeing angel numbers that are on your journey, I would encourage you to tap Google real quick and drop it in the search. Look it up to see what it means. And if it's significant to you, hold on to that. Let it be encouragement for your journey, because we all need encouragement on the journey, regardless of whether we acknowledge it or not. It always is good to get confirmation that you're going in the right direction. I just want to leave you with that. And as always, you can find us on Rashida.ai and RashidaMcFerrin.com. We are putting on a webinar at the end of this month. That webinar page can be found on Rashida McFerrin. I will drop the link in the show notes. I am on socials, on TikTok and Instagram most actively. And that is it for now. I will see you in the next episode.